one. Fight! You lose. Round two. Fight! You lose. Round three. Fight!
Hello everyone. Yesterday we showed this new marble gate that has opened up the project for me quite a lot. It's coming from the fact that I did the brave decision to skip a very tricky design requirement to play double notes on each vibraphone note, which I think would have made the machine kind of impossible. And today I want to follow up to start designing. It's more of a put a design framework in place to how we can see how this gate is connecting to the rest of the machine. So a lot of you out there have taught me to think in modules and interfaces. So a good example here is that we can see this whole gate as a module, and the Bowden cable is a clear interface, or you can see you can see this little pin as an interface that transfer the power from the Bowden cable into the gate. But what I want to do now is that I want to start and make one channel. So one programming wheel channel, one registrator channel over there, one program change, and then I want to connect this yellow part to the marble gate. And kind of think in modules and interfaces in one signal chain. Oh yeah, I also want to make one vibraphone note under there. So we have the full, from the programming wheel to the registrator flipping to a marble dropping, hitting a thing. So that's kind of the thing that I want to CAD today. How are you today, Sir 3K?
Oh, just tremendous. Thank you so much for asking, Martin. We've been doing our gym routine, and now we're cramming in a little live stream here. These days are a little wonky and crazy for us. We're doing the streams when we find the time, mainly because I'm on paternity leave, as you call it, right?
Yep.
So I run down to the studio and sit here for a couple of hours now and then. So this is a little shorter improvised stream for us. Not improvised. A shorter stream just to get something out right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, a lot of moving, a lot of logistics, but at the same time, I think maybe the project is starting to get a little exciting. So we're gonna stream as much as we can, and then hopefully when we solve our logistics, we're gonna be on a more consistent schedule. So it's a little bit all over the place. But what's not all over the place, it's my product breakdown structure in Confluence. Check this thing out. We're gonna be in CAD most of this stream, so don't worry about these kind of boring charts. But I wanted to, this is a product breakdown structure. It's just naming and categorizing. It doesn't have anything with a function. I want to make a flow chart here, also to kind of show you in text what I'm going to also CAD, and then we can work with this with the modules that are the boxes and the interfaces that are going to be the arrows. That was the wrong key. So, for example, we have the programming wheel. I think it's interfacing with the programming pins. So let's give that, I don't know, another number. We'll see about that later. And the programming pins are, I don't have to create the arrow. I'm new to this software. Interfacing with the registrators. So the idea later is to give like each interface a name like this. So the arrows are very important, kind of. That's where all the action is. The program switch is kind of coming from the side of the signal chain. This miss arrow. Program switch is coming from the side and entering in the registrator, and then the registrators are transferring their power into the marble gates. Doesn't this already look like Super Pro?
I mean, it's almost done immediately.
It's almost done.
You know who just joined chat here? Our good dear friend, Mr. Gonsonator.
Oh.
Morning, guys. Can you please check the dropper will catch the marble coming from the wheel?
You can check the dropper. Morning. The dropper will catch the marble coming from the wheel. I don't really understand, Gonzo. Can you specify? So we have here vibraphone plate.
Elaine Anderson. I know I've stayed up too late when I see the beginning of a live stream. Good morning from Illinois, guys. It's 3:45 a.m.
That's so fun, Elaine. What are you up this late, Elaine? Nice to hear from you from Illinois. Wish to visit one day on the world tour.
And Dora with a helping comment here. Hannes, I've put in a comment in the PBS sheet how to have the Draw IO plugin in Google Docs and not in Confluence. You might check that offline with Martin.
So, Doro, thank you so much. I saw your comment just right now. It's right here.
Can you zoom out, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually... Oh, Jesus. I saw the comment right here earlier. And I was like, I'm going to check that off stream. So thanks again, Doro, for pointing it out, because I don't even know how to open Confluence. So that's much better. Okay, so here we go. This is kind of what I want to CAD today, or start CADing. And then I want to think, when I design this, I want to think in module. So modules are on different levels. So one channel can also be seen as a module that we can repeat. To kind of break this down. So let's go into CAD. That was the intro, and we're now going for the prog wheel module.
Yeah, there we go. And a lot of questions already coming in about the viewer suggestions. For example, Bennett Hoffland, will you still keep checking out design suggestions for the marble gate? I might have come up with a simpler solution, and a lot of people are wondering if we still are going to check them out. And we will. As we said earlier, our schedules are a little bit all over the place right now. But we will do a design review stream pretty soon.
It's Friday tomorrow, right?
It's already Friday tomorrow.
Yeah, so
let's do it then.
It will happen tomorrow. I'm very happy to see all the suggestions. And we're going to keep... the plan is to do every Friday. Last Friday, something happened. So that's why it's been a little bit while.
Gonzonator, I mean, will the gate close fast enough to catch the next marble since the drop point is now so close to the wheel?
Oh yeah, that's something that I thought about. I haven't animated it, so it would be great if someone wanted to animate the gate. You can download the CAD file, the step file. So I haven't checked it yet, but it's definitely something that needs to be checked and prototyped. My inkling is yes, but I haven't checked it. It's not really for this stream because I wanna kind of get all the different parts together, and then we're gonna go more in depth on each part later.
Nice.
Prog wheel.
And David Johansson, love the simplicity of a single gate per vibraphone note. Shouldn't you also consider the completely removed extra drop point and tune the wheel for precision? This would probably gain more speed.
Yeah, so this is I love your comment, and this question is a question that comes all the time, and it's about musical timing. So the wheel and tune the wheel for precision. So the wheel is so much slower than the thing that just disappears and drops. So basically, with the extra drop point, you have an instantaneous kind of release because of leverage and just the mechanics of it. But the wheel is like, maybe the marble falls here, maybe the marble falls here, maybe the marble falls here. It just has this huge time span, space, time band, time area. So I don't think the wheel will ever come close to the extra drop point. And the extra drop point is validated by the Marble Machine X. So it's like, I should really like explain this once and for all, because I get the question all the time. But basically this thing, let's say it's in the marble falls within a range of 3 milliseconds directly from the wheel. I think it's like 30 milliseconds. So I would say it's like 10 times less. My guess is that it's like kind of 10 times less accurate timing. It would be so nice if we could do it, like even less parts. And of course, in simplification, it's like, what we would do then is that we would have, it's not costly, as you can see here. So we already have this movement. So to make this part, like this is like 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters. Basically, if we remove this point, we would save 5 centimeters of Delrin. We won't, like, that's the only complexity getting reduced. And everything we get from having it with musical timing, I think it's a no-brainer. Unless someone sends me an animation or a test with a drop directly from the escapement wheel, then I'll reconsider.
Great, brilliant.
But I love when I have to kind of explain to myself why I make some decisions.
Yeah.
So
Always a good reminder.
Yeah. Even when we come to when we're thinking about different things, it's always so helpful. I'm going to make a programming wheel here, but I'm only going to make one channel.
Do it.
So I'm just going to steal this 892. I'm just going to put this at 892.
As a little tip here also from Matt Burgess. Hello, just a comment in relation to last week's video of applying MVP/Agile for manufacturing. Check out RAT. It stands for Riskiest Assumption Test to help with prioritizing. Fail hard and fast instead of later.
Wow, that's interesting.
Love that. Fail hard and fast instead of later.
Wait, hang on that comment. I want to note it down. I'm just gonna put another value here, 856. And then we can already see where this is kind of going. Let's do 20 and symmetric and like this. So here we have the beginning of one channel of the programming wheel.
Cool.
It's cool, right? Because it feels like let's first design like one channel and then we just copy paste it.
World's smallest marble machine. Here we go.
Yeah. There is a song called One Note Samba. I actually used to play that. But then so clickbait song title. Let me note down in somewhere. We go back to front page here. What was it called?
R-A-T, rat.
I'm just gonna put it in educational area here. Is it one row below? RAT.
Yeah.
Riskiest
Assumption
test. Fail hard and fast from Matt Burgess. It's interesting because those are the things. Just how I work is that I want to like close my eyes for all of those things, because you tend like this is gonna work, and really get into the more risk averse mindset, or like curious about the risks. I'm too curious about the opportunities, or I was, and I really appreciated Matt, because I think like the difference if the third machine is going to work is to be curious about risks.
Do you know what I'm curious about?
Slice of Sparta?
No. And I would be curious about that. But I'm curious if the thinking oil is done.
Ooh, of course. So I'm going to make this very, very simple here. And now I'm going to show you the wonders of the revolve feature. So we have a sphere here, right? Or not a sphere. We have a cylinder. And you're like, oh, I want to drill a hole straight down into this cylinder. How do I do that? And of course, you can use the origin plane and stuff like that. You can also put a tangent plane here. So you can put a plane on the cylinder here, and you can angle it. You can use that for a sketch and stuff like that. But then I want to put a second hole with a very special relationship to the first hole. So if I do that, how do I then angle the plane in a new angle and found out my relationship with the second hole, like how far the holes are? Of course, we're going to use the fantastic revolve feature. So thinking in revolve features has helped me so much. It's actually from Darth Marius, who taught me like to always think when you have a hole to use revolve instead of something else. So if I make a line here, a vertical line, I can zoom in a little bit, and I make a second line, and we can now define like, so we can say that this is exactly 360 degrees divided on 64. So now I know that this relationship is exactly 1/64 of the wheel, which is very handy because that's how many beats we have on the programming wheel. And then to drill the hole, I just make a rectangle right here. Oh, thank you. And I can then say, this is now the radius of the programming pin. So we're going to use 3. So I put 1.5, and then I can put the length from the top. Let's go with 12. And now when we go out into our body, instead of like making a, let's see if you see this, then we choose a revolve. I'm repeating myself. Some of you have heard this spiel so many times, but it's really, really useful, I think. Then I just choose this profile and I choose the middle line. And is this working? I cut it too close to the surface. Okay. This is a good opportunity for me to teach you another thing, because I just made a mistake here. I cut it too close to the surface. And Fusion don't like when you do things on the exact same line. So it's better to be safe than sorry. To just extend your profile well above the surface here. So I'm gonna now edit this revolve feature and just choose this as well. And then you see the hole looks much better because it was just on the same little surface. And we can't have that. And then I can do the same for the second hole. So let's just I can actually make a mirror line the first was 64. So if I make a line here and I angle this 360 divided by 128, then I know that's a mirror line, and I can mirror my my programming hole over the mirror line. Boom. I forgot a line. Boo-doo-doo. And what's good with doing this is that if I change the length on the left one, the other hole is like following.
Oh yeah, parametric, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure.
Yardar Mathieu is wondering, could it be an idea to have some sort of mechanics to make the marble being released in the same step as the wheel? Now there is 2, first wheel, then release. And is that all about reducing the movement of the rotation of the marble? Is it something like that?
It's the same idea that I just answered before, I think. To remove the little thing down there.
Yeah.
And I know why the solution is so popular, because it's like removing parts and stuff like that. But we're only gaining we're lacking we're lacking music timing. We're going into uncharted territory, and as far as I can see, we're not gaining like kind of anything. So simple parts that are cheap and that are doing their job well, we shouldn't like remove them to. I'm failing with this now. We shouldn't remove them just because it's fun to remove parts. So, like, I'm super interested in the equation. Like, what would we actually gain from it?
And Pierre Chevalier, how about having a small module with 5 repeat keys in addition to the 37 keys vibraphone to allow for fast repeat without solving the hard problem of making one single marble gate faster? That was something that was bounced around early in the process.
Yep. It would require us to buy 2 vibraphones to have one extra set of each note, and it's a kind of a good idea, but I'm scared of the space it would take. I'm a little scared of it, but we have it as a backup solution.
Yeah, definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
Jörg Thompson, you made a mistake. The hole should be centered on your axis. Now that you mirror them, you will not have even spacing.
Yeah, that it looks like that in the sketch. But since it's revolving around this line, the second hole is still centered. So if we look at this here, and when you see the hole, so on this side, the profile is to the left, but and here it's to the right. But the distance between the hole is correct. I thought like you, Jörg. I was like, oh, this is not going to be right. And then I was like, oh, the hole is still around there. So that's the cool with the revolve feature, that you only paint the radius of the hole. And now when we started on that sketch, let's make the programming pin. And then it's so fun because then we can just use the same. So for now, I'm going to be, let's say it sticks up 10 millimeters. It's probably a little bit much. And now we can just use the same sketch to create our programming pins. We're not going to go into them now. Wait, this didn't work. Revolve. Like this. And
Jörg follows up with thumbs up.
yeah, awesome. No, I had this exact same thought as you, Jörg. I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. And I was like, oh, no, it's actually centered. So this is all we kind of need at the moment. So let's do another. I start a new design file, and I'm gonna call it one channel sub-assembly, something like that. And I think I'm gonna keep all the designs in different files. This is not intentional. And I'm just gonna import them into this one. Is that a bad idea? Let's try. So insert here. I'm probably also gonna import them into each other.
Dan Segalov, Sir 3K, you guys really should do a design review at the start of every session. Martin could end up wasting hours CADing before seeing a new design idea that's better than what he's designed. And that is a slippery slope, I think, to always... You also need to push the project forward also. You can't have spend hours and hours going into rabbit holes.
It's Don Segalov. I have the same idea as well sometimes, and I agree that we should keep up often. But sometimes when I know exactly what I wanna do, so for example, right now I'm building a design framework in CAD. I kind of need to just do that, and then sometimes. Because there is so much to go through the suggestions, and they kind of you kind of get automatically derailed. So it's I think we're going to try to find like the good trade-off.
Yeah.
And I think lately we've been looking at it a little bit too little. So totally agree with that. The general level of the suggestions has been super high. So I think it's because we are not so we have a smaller audience right now and a more dedicated and a more competent audience right now. And so like when we've been going through the suggestions, basically everything has been very fruitful to look at. So that has been kind of crazy cool.
Even if you do it before the stream, down suggestion. But you people should know also that we don't have really that much time before the streams. It takes some time to set up everything. So we try to do most of our work when we and Martin are sitting here, do that on stream almost. So when we're not streaming, we are preparing the streams or doing other work that needs to be done behind the scenes. So there ain't unlimited time off stream either. But we will work out a nice system where we can review it. And perhaps it's something like Satish says here. It would be a good idea to only review the suggestions for the component that will be worked on.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. And we need kind of even tighter product component categories, which I think so this is why I'm so excited about this digital process. Imagine when these should be the categories. So this is why we can use a product breakdown structure. So we should actually redo the whole Dropbox submission thing and just add these names and these numbers. And then we know, like today, I am working with 0402, kind of the registrators. And then there's not like 100 suggestions, then it's maybe like 3. And so every time we've been looking, I get a lot of inspiration as well. So if we can so we're happy for your feedback, and we think you're actually right about this, but we have to narrow it down then. We have to rebuild, I think, the folder system to be even more exact to each part. So, for example, when I'm sitting working on the registrators, you can then pull up those 3 suggestions. And we can do it like during the stream even. Yeah. So great ideas, everyone.
And as you said, I think it will be clearer the longer we come into the process, because now we've been all over the place with the machine, and people will see like, okay, this week they're really working on the marble gate, and then there probably will be mostly suggestions from the marble gates. Now we have stuff from all over the place.
Yeah. So I'm cleaning this up. I'm removing all these blocky levers and stuff. So right now I'm just deleting stuff. Because I just want, basically, I just want these. Oh, I took away the whole green thing. Huh. That was a little aggressive, but okay. New master sketch. Let's try to clean it a little cleaner. I'll roll the timeline from the beginning. We'll see what we'll save. POM bushing. These are the old stuff, I think.
Damien Michalak. Can you comment on Bowden cable issues massively listed in comments of last video on main channel? The flexing, friction, and potential timing issues.
So this is a really good point, Damien. It's completely unknown to me. We have to order and feel. I excluded Bowden cable because I thought they were going to give too much friction. The cool thing, and one of the reasons why I did this design, is that we can have a very straight Bowden cable, and we can have very little bends in it. So only a few degrees sideways and a few degrees, I think, will help immensely. We're not gonna pull it like around 90-degree corners, but as someone said the other day, I just have to order some and start to pull them myself to realize like, oh, this doesn't work. We need a less friction cable, or it's all good. And we found this super nice Bowden cable manufacturer. So basically, this is a known unknown. So if we go to the, so I think that will be my comment. Like, oh, I apologize for the unwanted moles. So here, it's already here actually. Bowden cables, friction, cost, timing. So it is a known unknown, and we're working under the assumption right now that it will work, but we're not there yet. What I'm really missing in this project, and I don't know how to solve that, is like a supplier person who just like get material, like Bowden cables, boom, here's 10 Bowden cables, check them out, try to feel them. I don't have the time to order them. And so this I'm kind of frustrated about that, because I would love to answer your question with sitting with 10 Bowden cables in my hand. That's what we should do. It's just time is not enough. So basically, we know that we don't know. I hope though it would be really, really tricky if they are too much friction. Then I'm going to have to then we have to line everything up again. It's going to be it would be fantastic if it wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So what are you? So to you who put the question, what is your feeling about Bowden cables? You think it's going to work?
Damien,
thank you.
tell us what you think.
Tell us what you think about the Bowdens. I'm curious. So let's see here. I'm just trying to get rid of old stuff. I'm gonna slaughter this whole design file. Let's see if this will work. Perhaps I should start anew. We can see.
Jörg Thompson is back here. How long will your cables be? It might be smart to resort to bicycle cables. PFTE coated cables are cheap and readily available. I could provide you with parts if I knew more about the details.
Oh, that's so lovely. Yeah, I haven't figured out like logistics around that, and I think we're a little bit This is like a huge thing that I have to deal with. The part thing.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy for the outstretched hand there, Jörg. It's very appreciated. I just don't know how to. I'm super bad with organizing things like that. It always ends up being a huge mess. So, and I'm still a little bit in the digital. Like it comes down to the project chapters as well. That we're in the feasibility thing, but of course we need to test some things out.
And Memeplex says here, go to the local bike shop.
It's not a bad idea actually for this thing.
You have to find something at least.
Yeah, that will give our hands on one Bowden cable, and we can pull it in and out. That's true. I'm going to try to delete all these. I'm basically just cleaning this mess up. I wanna keep these. But it's not a lot I want to keep, so maybe I...
Ooh, 10 out of 10 thinking oil today, huh?
Oh, you did wonders.
Oh, yeah.
Let's clean this out.
Yoshik V2Mane at least says, I think cables will work, just gotta get the right ones for the job.
Okay, that's good to know. It is an industrial solution, so there are a lot of like serious suppliers who are very serious about their like high quality Bowden cables. So I hope for those. Let's remove this. Let's remove this.
Dominic B. Similar to Bowden cables, hydraulic transfer similar to bicycle brakes have a near instant and frictionless transfer of movement.
So this is very interesting. We heard about hydraulic cables, but do they exist on this small scale? I wonder. Because I haven't really found them when I've been looking around.
Jörg, if your length is smaller than 2000 millimeters, bicycle cables will work. Friction is extremely low if correctly assembled. You will require special pliers for cutting the out cables.
Good news, length will be under 500 millimeters. So then this sounds very like good news.
Damien Mikalak. Damien got distracted by work and is only replying now. I feel like Bowden cable will work if you constrain their movement so they cannot flex by anchoring them at a few points.
Ah, that's interesting. So when a Bowden cable is flexing... So for the music timing, the only thing we really need is consistency. If there is a little lag in the system, as long as the lag from the flexing of the Bowden cable is consistent for every note, we're fine, because then we're gonna tune. Then we're gonna set all the other settings with that lag. However, if the lag is like different on different notes for some reason, then we have a bigger problem.
And a Steel Skin 667 says the good thing about making the Bowden cable run straight-ish into the design is that it'll make it easier to redesign for regular cables and pulleys if need be.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I want to try to keep things as straight as possible. And I'm happy because so far the design is, there's not a lot of yellow snow in the timeline.
John writes,
Let's see here.
Small scale hydraulic cables exist for hydraulic brakes on bicycles.
So can I ask you, the hydraulic cable, is it really oil in them? What's in a hydraulic cable? Is it a fluid? So there's no metal in them? So at one, it must take some force to kind of pump all that liquid. This one I want to get rid of.
Jörg says anchoring will not be really necessary if you use gear cables. You will need inline cable adjusters.
Inline cable adjusters.
And yes, there's oil inside the hydraulic.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, look at this. I almost deleted everything. I think I should delete some. Can I maybe delete this?
Sir Lee Wu Jin. I know high quality Bowden cables from forklifts. Their covers are with Teflon, I think.
Teflon. That's what you use in cooking.
I use Bowden cables in forklifts.
It's probably not lifting the thing. It's probably for throttling of valves with gas and stuff. Okay, so I'm just trying to clear this document up. Oh, we have the green one back. I don't know how that happened. That's funny. So let's roll the timeline a little bit here. Let's delete these. I just want to extract this little subassembly here. Let's delete this. So let me try to be aggressive. See if I can show it to you. Are you not seeing it? It's a shame I can't show the timeline so well. I have to work on that. Because everything in Fusion is happening on the timeline, actually. Loving this Bowden cable discussion. It's if it works, it opens up so much things. So we can, for example, have the base like on the side of the programming wheel. That will mean that the cable is angled a little bit. So definitely the less friction, the better. So where are we now? Delete here. Okay. This whole thing? Yes. Let's delete this repeating. Oh, nice. We're getting down to the core basics here. So this is the brilliant muting cam thing. And we had this as well, which is the AB. So we had a mode here, the gray arm, which is if we wanted to play both at the same time. And we don't want to. So I'm going to remove that right here. Yes. Let's quickly go into this sketch here.
Jörg Thompson, PTFE equals Teflon. The cable adjusters are necessary to adjust tension. Keep in mind that different room temperatures might require readjusting cable tension for precise timing.
Ooh. That sounds like a can of worms. Maybe we can just specify that the machine is always playing in 20 degrees to avoid that issue. Something like that.
We only play where it's exactly 20 degrees.
I can't work under these conditions. Okay, so this is a little boring, everyone. Sorry for that, but sometimes I just have to do some spring cleaning. And sometimes it's just much easier to restart. But I wanted to, we did some serious work on this. So I wanted to kind of keep on going with this design file. What is all this crap? It's like a doubling up. Okay. Let's just tentatively. What is it called? Tentatiously. Insert this here.
Okay, there seems to be a lot of people advising against using hydraulic stuff, at least because it's really messy with the oil, hard to maintain.
So this is actually interesting. I'm gonna actually share how I feel about like normal bicable versus hydraulic cable without experience. Is that if we're designing for something that requires a special solution that is non-standard, or maybe hydraulic cables are standard. There's like 2 people in Japan who knows this ancient technique that when you rub 2 crystals together, you get a special dust that will give exactly the lubrication so the marbles don't get stuck. We did a bad design from the first place. So at the moment, I'm really hoping that we can just use a run-of-the-mill steel Bowden cable, and then perhaps that works, and then maybe the hydraulic cable just makes it even a little bit nicer. So it's the same with like fancy space-grade metal 3D printing parts and stuff like that. I really want to go down to basics on this machine. But however, if someone sent me a hydraulic Bowden cable, I probably would fall in love immediately. Let's add the gate. Let's see here. Which one is it? Is it this one?
Chris Berry says Shimano developed a type of housing for Bowden cables that does not change length as it is flexed. May be perfect for this project. So please send in us tell us what it's called and submit it to Dropbox so we can take a look at it.
That would be great. So look at this. We have a registrator and a marble gate in the same shot for the first time ever.
History in the making, folks.
So I'm gonna make a little part that slides from this because this is lifting, a Delrin part that slides in and out. And this end of the Biden cable will attach to that part. Oh, are they not in line? Oh, I am not in orthographic. Camera orthographic, they are not in line though. Strange. Let's also move our little programming wheel. You are with you? No? Let's try it again. You are with you? Yes?
Yes.
Kind of. Where's our programming pins? Did I turn them off?
What are they doing slacking over there?
Oh, they're here? Oh, I have to save it, I think.
Vern Roberts. Anyone else love how the escapement and cable look like the head and tail of a dragon biting the marbles?
What? I haven't seen that. Ah, like a jaw. I see it now. Cool. Cool. And now when I update this, I think we should have a programming pin plopping up right here. No? Why not? I'm confused. There's a pin there. I'll save this. I go over here.
Pavel W. To me, hydraulic cable seems to be a possible solution, but also an overkill. Properly installed and sized Bowden cable should do the same job just fine.
That sounds very promising. Then we can go hydraulic. And also, like, I'm going to work hard to get sponsors for this machine where they can put their products in this machine. So that will also, like, change maybe a little bit, because then if we can get, like, a hydraulic Bowden cable company super interested, and they're like we're going to supply this, we're going to show how nice our cables are, then I can use their expertise, and I don't have to go, like, fumbling around for 2 years in a dark room like I did before. So that kind of also, or maybe Shimano wants to, that could also. And I'm not want to work with sponsors. I'm not gonna ask for any money. I'm just gonna ask for them to help with the machine and use their products. So it's gonna be like just a collaboration basically. And I think that will be so fun. So maybe it will also be determined who can lend their expertise to the project. And now I would need some. Okay, this is why maybe. So I have a strange issue here now. There is a programming pin here.
Elaine Anderson is back.
I'm not sleeping yet.
Hannes, in answer to your question about being up so late, I blame Martin. He said premium YouTube was well worth it. Unfortunately, I'm now watching a lot of videos and staying up too late.
That's so fun, Elaine. It's seriously, it's the best money I've ever spent in my whole life.
Same here.
YouTube Premium. A digital library of Alexandria where you can learn anything you want to learn for like $12 per month.
And also to skip the microaggressions you get every day when you start a video and there's 3 commercials before it. You don't need those microaggressions in your life.
No, so true. That's so funny. You tried it, Elaine, and happy to hear you are appreciating it. Oh, now I know what's happening. It's down here, the pin. Do you know why it's down there?
What?
Here is the lost programming pin.
Oh.
I found it.
Lying on the floor.
No, it's hanging in the air.
Oh.
Because I didn't make a rigid group. So when you want to insert something, you go up into the menu and you choose this rigid group constraint. And then I choose everything and I include child components. So now everything sits together. So I was super slow on this. So now the pin will stick to the wheel and there it finally is. Brilliant. Okay. So what are we missing now from our flow chart? Let's check the flow chart. We are missing the vibraphone plate. So we have all this, although it's sloppy. So now we have the vibraphone plate. You know what, Hannes?
What?
Can you check the marble gate? What was the suggestions people were excited for most of all? Was it the marble gate?
This viewer suggestions?
Yeah. Maybe the marble gate is maybe we should check that now.
Let me fix that.
And meanwhile, I'm gonna make a vibraphone plate for our one track module. I wanna kind of take away the square tubing or make it thinner so everyone understands that we're in one thing. Is there a bike shop in where we are, Hannes?
Used to be a really good one, really close here, but I think they closed down. I think there's some pretty close.
Would be kind of fun to go and buy a brake cable, actually.
Yeah.
Even though that also takes time. But probably well worth it. I made the square tubing like one section wide. That feels great. And then we are going to make, I think... Do I have the vibraphone bars? Let's make one. Let's actually make one in this design. I'm gonna make one in the Marblegate design. So what we're doing today is that we're setting up a new design framework where I'm trying to fix all the modules in one channel, and then we're gonna see how they're interfacing with each other. So it's a kind of setting up a stream for future the designing, and it's also a new way of like thinking around to try to isolate smaller parts instead of like approaching the machine as one big lump, because I know from experience that I'm not smart enough to do that. So let's see. I have some vibraphone plates here. They're 12 millimeter thick, 40 millimeter wide, and kind of 24 millimeter long, 240. Let's do, I had 236 already. Automatic. And I had 11.3 and it should be 12. See? I have some kind of like...
You know something.
I have some kind of feeling sometimes.
You have some skills.
Sometime. I get a feeling. No. So let's constrain this angle. Let's also constrain... We're gonna make a hit point, which is not in the center of the plate. We learned that that was such a big reveal that a vibraphone plate doesn't sound best hit in the center. So let's just say that you are...
Tangential with you.
Love when you're trying. You're gonna get it one day.
One day it will be right.
All the lines are black. And the sketch is constrained. When I show my parts, they will stay the same. There is a document we're working on. California's dreaming.
We have some suggestions up now on the screen. First of all, this is from Chris Berry. This is, could these gears be driven with enough speed and precision to eliminate the dropper arms? Could the programming wheel be eliminated and replaced with an Arduino?
Yes, it could, but we're not interested in building an electronic machine. But we're gonna go through these again on the real one. I just wanna see cheap note repetition.
The repeated keys.
Beautiful font and this. I love how this suggestion looks also. Yeah, this is a great suggestion from Pierre.
Dan Segalov is
Here
back.
is Segalov. Muting system raises arm to disconnect from mechanism. Spring. Quick release Marblegate module will built-in track mute. Spring reset. So you put the muting system after. Quick release Marblegate. So this is kind of the muting system already. You just put it on the other side of the cable. So this is what we're gonna do, exactly what you drew, but on the other side of the cable. And it's actually cool that you drew it that way because it doesn't have to be. Well, yes. Yeah. It's better on the other side of the cable, I think. Centered Bowden with dual... Oh, so that's the old marble gates. Yes, that's a nice one on the old one. That's also for the old one from Joshik Vitumane. Okay, so that's from the Y split. That's also old. This is also old. Same here. What's this?
Multi-marble mousetrap?
Mousetrap. Ah, so they're just opening. So the issue here is that when you have the queue coming in from the side, then you can't put another module next to it. So when you want to repeat 37 vibraphone notes, all the white keys, the marble cage to the right there would interfere. But kind of cool double gate. Very cool double gate. According to Omni Calculator, a 40 millimeter free fall from initial velocity of is 90 milliseconds, which is way lower than 300 millisecond limit you mentioned. So the idea is single gate. Super, super cool with some so it's about how fast we can repeat the same gate, but I think it's more about how fast we can charge it. I think it doesn't really matter how long the fall time is.
What's that? Arrow shear. That's the old
Yeah.
Y split.
Marble gate mounting with Dean rail solution. Ooh. You can shift it sideways, right? Industry standard for mounting electrical off-the-shelf parts available. Secure connection that can be secured when only use the minimum amount of horizontal space. This is cool. So that's for the old as well.
Piston marble gate.
Okay, cool. This one was cool. The spiral drop. One rotation drops a marble.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's kind of cool.
Simplified marble gate.
Yeah, we did one, but it's nice.
Okay, so here's
Geneva
like a
mechanism.
little-
That's beautiful. This is the movie projector mechanism that says for old movie
Dan
playing.
Segelov, Geneva gear marble gate.
Cool.
I think that was the last for now.
Okay, awesome.
Let me check some other folders.
Let's extrude the vibraphone bar. What did we say? 40 millimeters? Let's save this and let's go over to our assembly. And we can update and then we should have kind of everything. I think these sketches look horrible. I think I want to try to hide them. Nice. I can try to hide these as well. So here we have it, actually. This is very much going to be the focus for me these upcoming times. And I think the biggest missing piece now... So, yeah, the next step for me to go into is check the travel distance here. So how much the Bowden cable needs to travel, and see how we can design a registrator that can reload fast. Because now all of a sudden we have this issue with reloading time. So when this first pin is playing, if we want to play already this pin over here, the registrator has to has to fall back. Unless, Hannes Knutsson,
Oh, why?
we can use what everyone says. Look here. Maybe we should have the A, B at the same time. Because look what I just discovered. For the Marble Machine original song, for example, which only wants one. So okay, this is kind of epic. I just discovered something epic.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Love it.
the green side is the program B. So if we write a melody, for example, the original Marble Machine song, then we could play the first note on the red, and if we have them both activated, we can play the second note on the green. So then this registrator hasn't have the time to reset. It's just everything after here, the gate and the yellow part and the Bowden cable and the marble that has to reset in time. So maybe this is a case for the third for the AB to be played at the same time. Just for example, so what I could do then when I'm playing is that I could temporarily switch to AB if there's a special note. So it opens up for some. How can I demo this? Can we go to the oh, was it not on the checklist?
Really good.
We have to fix it on the checklist. We don't have power to it or something.
Oh, you pulled it out yesterday. We can't let it.
I can show it anyway. So, add it to the checklist right away. Check action camera. We're working on a flight checklist for our live streams, so this won't happen. And we're working on it during the live streams. It's very Inception. So, let's say red program is like this. But we want I can make those extra notes in the green program and play them both at the same time to get this red, green, red, green. And then, let's say there's another part of the green program which I want to save, then I can, that program has to just fit in. So maybe later is something else with the green program, but then it's gonna be then those notes are gonna come in there. Anyway, this is hard to follow. There could be a potential that we have to take back the third cam that I deleted in the beginning of this live stream, or make it so that the red registrator can go back fast. Interesting. So it opens up. So, but what you sacrifice if you're with me, if you use the green thing as a speed helper, you kind of sacrifice to use it as twice as long music. So either you have fast music in one loop, or you have slow repetition in two independent loops. That's kind of the cool thing. This means we have to revisit our design requirements, because I have said quite clearly that let's see. we did it in the PBS. Just for fun, because this is what I wrote most clearly. No, maybe we didn't even do it. By the way, talking about Bowden cables, this is the wonderful supplier that I found. Carl Stahl Techno Cables. I emailed them yesterday. They haven't replied. If you want to go like hardcore Bowden cable, look at these fittings. They're amazing, right? Made to measure the component, so we can order exact length. And this is what I mean, like this will hold better than the bike cables, I think.
Dan Segalov says the problem is that the A registrator will have to reset before the B registrator is pulled anyway. This does not speed up the play repetition.
Let me look at that. Maybe you're right. Of course, because it's already oh good, it's already pulling this. So if it has played, it's already pulling the yellow. So look at this poor little green thing here. It goes back and forth like crazy and nothing happens. It's just shooting blanks.
Poor little fella.
It's shooting blanks over there.
Oh no.
Segalov, thank you for pointing that out. So obvious. And which actually means that, yes, great. Of course, it's like that. You could argue, what could you argue? Could you argue something? No, you're absolutely right. Which means that I think the shape of this thing has to be a little thinner. And I think also the distance from the pivot here down to the programming wheel should be tighter. So we have a smaller, faster movement. So this whole thing should be smaller. And let me just show you here the travel of this. And I think that will conclude this exercise. So if we go to the gate, so I have the escapement in the different positions. So let's isolate this. So we're going from there. So this is the 16 degrees of travel that we have. And I think it's about 11 millimeters. So let's measure from here to here. 6 millimeters, my friends. We only need the Bowden cable to travel 6 millimeters to drop a whole marble, which is super, super cool. Which means, and this is the next thing that I'm going to go heavily into.
PK Margo, shortening the registrator arm will allow repeat faster. Simple as this.
Yeah.
But it is so hard to communicate to Martin. Well, I helped you now. Now I got you communicating with the big man himself.
I wouldn't call me that, but that's why I have you right here. Yeah, so I think we're above average in trying to facilitate communication, but I see your point. Like Hannes is doing a fantastic job with not trying to derail me. So sometimes Hannes is choosing to not bring things up that people are saying, because otherwise the live streams will only be a
discussion.
But you were definitely P. Camargo, Gretzky skating where the puck is going, because shorter will flick the thing off faster. We can actually look at... I'm going to go into this sketch. So let's, for fun, say that we are... that was 892. So 892 plus 20 should be 10 millimeter difference. So this jagged line here is the top of the programming pins. And then we can show very clearly if we do a pivot point here and we go down below like this much. So we say that you are
tangential with
30. And then we draw another line. We can use equal sign, which is a super nice constraint.
Gonzo wants to add something here. If there is more available registrator movement, you could add leverage to the Bowden cable, which will make the pull more powerful.
Yes, so what Gonzo rightly suggests is that if we push it down here with the programming pins to the left, if we attach the Bowden cable further up here, we have a leverage advantage because of the gear reduction compared to if we put it all the way down here. So that's a good point. So
you know what's another good point?
1 second. Can I just finish this?
Finish it.
30 millimeters pivot point. The travel here is 9 millimeter. If we reduce this to 15, sorry for this. Okay. This was bad. Now the travel is 8. Meaning the closer we are, the faster it flicks out of. I think I'm correct with this. 10. Yeah, 7. Strange how... Wait, is this not... Yeah, it is equal. There we go. 6. Here we have 6. So this is something we have to check out. But for now, I'm very happy to have this framework in place. We're going to work with these modules and the interfaces. And this will also be fun when we can kind of track it in our flowchart. So with that, thank you. Thank you, Sir 3K, for this stream. We will be back, I think, later today.
Yeah, hopefully. Yes. Take care of our other businesses.
And thank you all for the great input. It was a nice coming together after the main channel update yesterday.
Yeah.
Super input from all of you. Always very, very appreciated.
Let's get to work later today.
Yep.
Take care, everyone.
Have a wonderful day. Ciao.